Hello again, everyone. I'm Deb Sofield, and you're listening to my weekly podcast series called Encouragement for Your Life. Many of you know I'm a national speaker and trainer, and as a coach, I help people find their voice and learn to use it. I'm also a conference speaker on the topics of public speaking, presentation, media skills, and crisis communication. If your organization or upcoming conference you're a part of needs a keynote speaker, I hope you'll find me at debsofield.com. My book, Speak Without Fear, is available on Amazon, as well as my new series, Encouragement for Your Life, Tough Love Memos to help you fight your battles and change the world. You can just go to Amazon and look up my name, Deb Sofield, and all my books will appear. There also is a link on my website. My theme for today is this: attract what you expect, reflect what you desire, become what you respect, and mirror what you admire. I'm Deb Sofield. Thanks for spending these few minutes with me. Let's get started with today's show. I had an interesting speaking engagement in Pennsylvania, and then I had to go to Maryland, and it brought to mind this saying: attract what you expect, reflect what you desire, become what you respect, and mirror what you admire. In Pennsylvania, I was speaking to those who are planning on running for public office. I teach a number of things in that realm: your campaign speech, debates, forums, and interviews, and how to engage your audience to listen to your message. And in Maryland, I had a wonderful opportunity to speak to the spouse program for members of Congress. I must say, they were both wonderful groups to spend time with. And my thought for today is a direct result of what I saw that week. Because if you're in public office, or you'd like to be, if you run a corporation, or you would like to, if you plan to run a nonprofit that can survive in these tough times, friend, you need to learn the skills that will set you apart from others. And that is the ability to speak and be heard and seen in the quiet and in the noise. Otherwise, you're never going to make it to the finish line in this hard race for success. Many of the folks I work with figured out that for them to be successful in life or politics and business, they had to attract what they expected, reflect what they desired, become who they respected, and learn to mirror what they admire. You know, when you think about it, that's kind of an interesting thought, that you can attract what you expect. I'll admit that every day I expect good things. I look at the bright side, not because I'm a Pollyanna, but because I don't like the darkness of negativity. So by changing myself to be more positive, even when I don't feel like it, or I step out of my comfort zone to be perhaps more kind than my usual nature, I have reaped the rewards of being around people who also expect great things, with a positive bent to be better and stronger and kinder than perhaps our natural instinct would provide. So change is good. Hard, but good for most of us. Not impossible, just not easy. So if you were to attract what you expect, what would happen? See, I think it goes to the heart of expectation. What great or small expectation do you have for yourself or others? Friend, how do you see yourself? Not your glorified ego self, but really your true self. You know, the one that shows up when you're doing life or nothing, or in your spare time, or when you least expect it. Because if you see yourself as a helper, a healer, or hero, I believe you become that and so much more. See, I believe that by making a personal list of expectations that are reasonable and doable in a structured time frame, it is a good thing, since it can serve as a guidepost to your personal success, whatever that may look like. It's the plan you can follow through. Sunshine, stormy weather, doesn't matter. See, when you attract what you expect, reflect what you desire, become what you respect, and mirror what you admire, things change. Not only will you attract what you expect, the good news is in parallel with your expectations come the realization that you and I will reflect what we desire. When you have a visual or mental or physical goal in mind, it's much easier to reach. Now, how does one reflect what they desire? Well, there's all sorts of ways. It can be by how you dress or what car you drive or where you live. There is an old adage in politics: to get where you want to go, office-wise, you really ought to dress the part. Because once you begin to reflect what you desire, for some strange reason, the stars align, and you'll be able to step up into the place or office or position that you worked for. It's easy to see if you start to dress like a CEO or golf pro or fashionista, you'll start to see yourself in that position, and others will take notice of the new you. When you have a heart for your work or place of worship or even your favorite charity, it becomes you, and people will start to see in you that light of leadership. So, if we attract what we expect and reflect what we desire, the old saying says you'll become what you respect. So I have to ask, whom do you respect? I have to admit, I love the word respect. And I have to admit, I'm disappointed that it seems to have lost its luster in today's ego-driven world. Thank goodness Aretha Franklin keeps it alive. Okay, respect is such a wonderful thing because it sets the bar high. I've got great respect for some in public office because I know their heart. I also have respect for some leaders in ministry because I'm challenged by their message. And there are some in business who, by being honest and fair, they've earned my respect. I have respect for many in leadership primarily because of the position, maybe not because of the person who sits in the seat at the time, but the position is worthy of respect. We teach our kids to respect their elders and be kind to their siblings, because if you're going to become what you respect, our friend, we need to set the bar as high as we can and encourage those we love and mentor to reach and exceed it. So how do you become what you respect? I believe the foundation is you must be an honest person, one who keeps their word, even if it costs you money, time, business, or friends. To be known as honest and fair is the most respectful accolade you could ever receive. Now, if you know me, and most of you do, I believe that generosity, manners, diplomacy, goodness, fairness, kindness is born of respect for others, including animals. Respecting yourself enough to keep you in good stead with your family, friends, and community is a very worthy goal that we should all attain to. I always find it interesting that somehow we all seem to know the person who cheats or steals or lies, and we're many times not shaken because that's what we've come to expect from that person. Simply because, number one, they don't respect themselves, so keeping their word is of no use. And two, we don't respect them because we know them, and rarely will a leopard change his spots. When you lose the respect of others, as you know, it is very hard to get that back. So, your best bet is to pay attention. Repair repairable mistakes. Ask forgiveness. Pay the debt you owe. Clean up your act now. And friend, do right. Why? Because it matters. If you want to attract what you expect, reflect what you desire, become what you respect, over time you will mirror what you admire. Mirror what you admire. I have to admit, I really love that phrase. See, if you admire good manners, you mirror them by learning what fork to use in social settings. If you admire intelligent conversations, for goodness sake, pick up a book and start to read and listen to well-known thought leaders and not those who claim they are on LinkedIn. Or learn from those great souls of yesteryear. Have to tell you, I am a huge fan of some of the top speakers of years gone by. They've passed on, but their message still rings true today. Whether it's Zig Ziglar or Jim Rohn, or some of the folks who, by their words, changed my life. If you admire those who keep themselves up and are healthy, friend, push away from the table and get yourself to the gym. I can tell you that. If you do that over time, you will feel stronger and feel better. It's not easy, I admit, but the end result is worth it. So if you admire those who can sing or dance or paint or speak, get going on your practice. Hey friend, it doesn't happen overnight. You have to work at it. Remember, there's no overnight sensation. It's people who've worked at it year after year after year, waiting for that 3-minute opportunity, and then they will shine. Why? Because they have mirrored what they admired, and they did the work. See, listen, if you're going to mirror what you admire, you have some work to do. Hey, but the good news is this. Since you now notice what you need, it will make your journey so much easier. So hear me now. Friend, for your success, please hear this. I encourage you, starting today, attract what you expect, reflect what you desire, become what you respect, and mirror what you admire. Wow, I love that message. I know I say that after every one of them, but I have to say, when I was reflecting on what to share with you today, I just thought, boy, this is the right time as you're coming into a new school year, and it's kind of a new beginning. I know it's not the first of the year, but it's still that, in a sense, a new beginning because things are starting to change. This is your time. This is your chance to make old new and to make good decisions for your amazing future. And that's it for today's show. I trust my words have given you a bit of encouragement for your amazing life. I hope you'll join me next week for Deb Sofield's Encouragement for Your Life weekly podcast. Our friends, thanks for being with me. I hope you have a great day and look forward to connecting with you next week. Take care, everybody.